Last time on The Ties That Bind, the Jester of Bordeaux tested our heroes' mettle and gave them a glimpse of what they're after. With Asmo, Daenir, and Wolfgang physically and mentally scarred by the encounter, the Jester made his explosive exit. Back in the town of Steamy Springs, the trio was sequestered by Vincent Blackthorn, the vampire constable of the town. During the interrogation, Blackthorn dials up the town of Birchwood Creek to corroborate the team's story, only to make a horrifying discovery. A drow, only going by you, whom our heroes assumed dead, claims the entire town has been killed. With this horrible news on their minds, Daenir, Wolfgang, and Asmo must now press forward to complete their quest. Next stop, the city of Iceforge.
Clippity clop, clippity clop.
Actually, no. Asmo, you find yourself in a interesting situation. You hear the slurping all around you, and it's pitch black. You feel warm water up to your knees, but the rest of you is frigid.
Is it getting closer or is it getting further away?
You're just hearing it all around you at various distances.
I try and cover my ear holes.
All right, as you cover your ear holes, you look around and you can see what seems to be a beacon in the distance. It's kind of pulsing, flickering dimly, but it's the only source of light you have right now.
Asmo starts moving towards it.
Yeah, cautiously you look around left and right. You're not sure how far away some of these things might be. The light begins to get a little bit brighter. It's pulsing, almost this red and green sort of. And as you get closer to it, you start to make out a shape.
What does it look like?
Looks like a lump of red, sometimes a lump of gray. It depends on what light is flashing. And as you approach, it begins to take more shape, and you realize it's the shape of a person.
I keep a healthy distance back.
It doesn't seem to be moving. It just seems to be standing still. I want you to roll a perception check for me from the distance that you're at, as you continue to hear the slurping from all around you.
Is it getting? Yeah, I can't hear it even though I'm covering up my ears.
It's pretty audible.
21.
You notice the shape. It's familiar. It seems like you're looking at Daenir from the back.
Daenir?
Daenir, you hear Asmo in the distance. You've been here before. You're familiar with this dream.
Daenir turns and looks.
You see a pulsing light coming from a snake-like figure. His arms appear to be clutching his head.
Daenir will begin wandering over towards Asmo slowly.
The figure begins to approach you, Asmo, and as it does, you realize, yeah, that's Daenir.
What, does he just look like one color?
I mean, the light keeps pulsing, but it's Daenir.
Daenir, what's going on?
You've never been here before?
Once, the Jester, he did that spell. Rather than backing out, I used the scroll of light and I saw something I can't quite explain.
Daenir, you do find this a little odd. This is the first time you've ever seen anyone down here in your dream.
So Daenir actively knows that he's dreaming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is a dream you have all the time.
Mhm.
This pitch blackness, sometimes you'll see the tree.
Did we get attacked by... What happened? Were we attacked by him again? Did the cart just go right into a bubble again? Where's
No,
Wolfgang?
he's probably asleep too. This is a dream, Asmo.
So you just accept the fact that Asmo is in your dream, physically.
Well, he thinks that either it's a representation of Asmo
Okay,
or it's Asmo itself.
fair enough.
It's a little bit wild of a dream. Did you think? Maybe he's made you think it's a dream. We can't stay here. We gotta find a way out. Because otherwise, whatever I saw, it could still be here.
Asmo, make a perception check as you wildly search around to try to find something, some sort of hope in the distance.
23.
You see another white light in the distance, kind of down a little bit to your right.
Asmo points. Could that be Wolfgang? I have to go find him.
Okay. Lead the way.
Yeah, Asmo, you begin trudging rather hurriedly and panickingly as the slurping sound continues around you.
Asmo tries to just covers his ears. He can't stand hearing it.
Daener's actually gotten used to it over the last number of years.
Also, Asmo thinks Daenir is also a dream.
Yeah.
Dream character, too.
Yeah, Daenir is actually following behind you relatively calmly. But Daenir, as you approach, you begin to feel a little cold. As the light begins to take shape, it is you know it, that's the tree.
Asmo, hang on.
Now hold on, he's right up ahead here.
No, the tree is nearby.
Asmo stops and turns.
What?
The
What do you
tree.
mean?
The bleeding god is nearby. I can feel it.
Asmo, he's pointing directly at that light, and you can kind of see it. It's not shaped like a person. It has branches, and it's kind of like... You're not sure how far away it is or how big the tree itself is, but Daenir doesn't appear to be lying.
Asmo slaps himself across the face, trying to wake himself up.
All right. Give me a wisdom save, then.
Yeah! 7.
Nothing doing. You slap yourself, but when you look up, you look back at Daenir, and the tree is directly behind him. Like, you've seen it's
Asmo,
right there.
Asmo falls back.
You see it knotted. These roots kind of forming and twisting around itself, and right at the base of this tree, all these roots seem to congeal in, and you see it, this blood all over in between all of these roots. And I need you each to make a wisdom save.
Can Asmo say something right before he has to roll it? Just
Sure.
to Daenir. It's right behind you! It's right behind you!
12.
Natural 20.
Yeah, Asmo, you close your eyes as this thing is just sitting there, and it starts to pulse this ridiculously disgusting feeling energy throughout you, but you shake it off. Meanwhile, Daenir, a sensation you are incredibly familiar with, you begin to get this massive headache, and you see flashes of blood and violence and carnage, chaos, fire, smoke. And you're going to take, let me roll it out. Eight psychic damage.
Okay.
Can Asmo try and just grab Daenir and run the other direction?
Yeah, as you, with your nat 20, you're able to grab Daenir and turn him away from the tree. But as you turn around, you see another figure. A thin figure, sort of arms down to its knees, kind of like swaying and moving towards you. It looks cloaked, and it stops and cocks its head toward you. Are you the hunters? It asks in a calm yet sinister voice. It cocks its head the other way as it looks at you, waiting for a response.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Yes.
The master is waiting. He stretches his arms out to his side, revealing his fingers to be replaced by shimmering, sharp blades. I'm coming. And he starts making a mad dash sprint for you. And just as he's about to reach you, you see the face of Beauregard in front of you. Hello, gentlemen. And you're snapped away. Wolfgang, you're awoken by screaming.
Wolfgang draws his pistol. He reaches in his pocket for a pistol. What the fuck's going on?
Oh, terribly sorry. I was just letting you know that we had to make a stop for the evening, as, well, inclement weather is well known in this part of the territory. Well,
Wolfgang's gonna peek his head outside of the cart.
As you pull back the curtain, there's just a curtain of white, but not the same kind of, like, you know, fog that you were used to. This is a blizzard so thick that you can't see, like, you can maybe see 5 yards outside of the cart. Maybe. Terribly sorry to have startled you. I know you were sleeping, but I managed to find a roadside inn for us to stay for the evening.
All right. That's fine, Beauregard. Thank you.
Asmo is like just shivering with his hands in his eyes, like just.
What the fuck are you two screaming about?
Another nightmare. Daenir says as his hand is buried in his spell component pouch.
Please tell me that you didn't have the same dream as me. Please tell me that was all in my own head, Daenir.
That depends. What dream did you have?
The dream there was a tree. There was a man. Very tall. You were calm, and that was off-putting.
When Asmo looks right at Wolfgang.
When we fought the Jester, you spell the black cube. I don't know what it was called anymore. Whatever it was. You got out of it. I didn't know which way to go, so I used my scroll of light, and I saw something in the red, the blood. It was everywhere. It was the ground. It was the water. It was the earth, and there was something in the distance. Something with no eyes, and this dream I just had was back there again with no light. It was until I saw Daenir. And then I thought I saw you, thinking it was all a damn dream. But it was this tree. And then we tried running away from it, tried grabbing Daenir. And then there's a man, a creature, something, with blades for fingers. He said the master's waiting for us, and asked if we were the hunters. I just want to do this job and get my money and get the fuck out of here. This isn't what I signed up for.
Asmo just says, and Asmo buries his face into his cloak and doesn't want to say anything else.
Daenir looks over slowly. He tries to wrench his hand from his spell component pouch.
Give me a wisdom save.
Okay. 15 this time.
Funny enough, as you're doing it, you don't feel any resistance. In fact, you actually feel kind of good about it. You actually have a temporary +1 to intelligence.
Awesome. Yes, Wolfgang.
You're telling me that you and him have the same dream.
I've been having these dreams for a long time. I've never had a dream with him in it, or you.
But you saw everything he saw in your dream.
Yeah, I thought he was just a figment of my dream. I didn't know it was actually him. Daenir slowly looks over to Asmo, and he taps the color of his cloak. I don't wear red because it's a fashion statement. I wear red because it helps me hide when I'm in there.
The fuck is that place?
It's his place. That's as far as I've managed to get from it. You don't want to know what else is in there.
No.
I had a dream. How long have we been on this journey exactly? It's a couple months now, right?
Are you referring to the dream with the light?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been approximately a month ago, because that was when you were in the Weasel staying there for the first time.
I had a dream about a month ago. Surrounded by blinding light. Like I had my head up in the clouds or something. And then something whispered to me. I don't know what it was. Whatever this bleeding god is, seems to have the same power. Gods can affect dreams.
Any magic strong enough can affect dreams. I've heard of wizards being able to send messages through dreams and attack through dreams.
Beauregard's head appears back, this time coming from like the right or the left of the cart. Well, yeah, the left of the cart to you. Well, to Wolfgang, to Asmo and Daenir, it's from the right because you're facing each other. Hello, I have moved your bags in and have sequestered a room for you.
Thank you, Beauregard.
You are most welcome, sir. Be careful, it's a bit chilly outside.
Are you going to be all right?
Oh, I can't feel it anymore.
Well,
But thank you for your concern. Kind of bows his head a little bit as he wisps out of the cart again.
we should probably get inside. That'll be more comfortable in there. Wolfgang sort of slips out.
As you open the door, the wind just swirls through. This is a pretty heavy storm. Like, you're surprised the cart wasn't, like, shaking back and forth as much as it, like, more than it was. But, yeah, this wind is pretty heavy.
Bloody hell. It's freezing out here.
Yeah, you do your best to cover your face with your hood as you try to make your way towards the door. You can't even make out the sign for the tavern.
I'm gonna light cantrip just so we have a little bit of extra vision.
All right, you make like a beacon of light, and you'll be able to follow Wolfgang if you...
Asmo like wraps himself as tightly as he can and everything.
All right.
Daenir will follow out.
Beauregard kind of shows you to the door, and just kind of points in for you. I'm afraid that I cannot open it by physical means.
How did you grab our bags?
Oh, I have my ways.
Asmo
He just
like
smiles at you.
Asmo just comes as that blinking guy gif and just shakes his head.
As you open the door to the tavern, it's warm inside. There's a nice fire burning in the fireplace.
Oof.
As they
How big?
walk,
How big is the place?
It's not small. I mean, it's probably about, I'd say maybe 1,000 square feet on the ground level. It's not bad. It's pretty sizable. There's a surly-looking man behind the bar. Just kind of stares at you. Taking shelter from the storm?
Yeah, that's right.
You with the Phantom?
Yeah.
You set your bags over. You set your bags over right there. There's a room upstairs for you if you're looking for it. Ain't got many vacancies, but if you guys don't mind sharing.
That's fine.
Yeah, thank you kindly.
As you look around the bar, you see it's not like it's actually pretty full, all things considered. There's several half elves just kind of chilling around here, all of which everybody is dressed pretty warmly. Several half elves. There's a half orc sitting at a table as well, alongside a drow.
Huh. Perception on those.
All right.
11.
Nothing really suspicious about it. They appear to be playing cards, other than the fact that one of them is a drow, and you haven't really met any many half orcs. This guy seems pretty on the orc side of half orc.
Hmm. Okay. So, all right.
Here. For some reason, my my tavern sounds aren't playing. Give me just a second.
Tavern music. Dun 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 dun. There we go. There they are.
All right, there's our background sound. Yeah, just a bunch of people chatting, and one thing that you do notice is there's a familiar face up on stage right now.
Who's on stage?
Why, it's old Fezziwig Grinspire.
Oh, son of a bitch!
He's doing a little performing. People seem to be enjoying it. There's a hat being passed around, and money's going into it. All right, here, I'll kick you guys over to the map that I made for this.
Oh, fun. Asmo grabs Wolfgang by the shoulder and just points right at Fezziwig.
Look who it is.
Seems to be singing an aria of sorts.
Son of a bitch who skipped town.
Yeah. They ain't heading towards no capital.
No, we are heading towards the capital.
I thought he was talking about...
No, he told me he was heading to the capital. He had to go absolutely because the Grand Duke, whatever it's called, demanded he was there. Looks like he got held up in the storm, but if I do remember correctly, he was a person of interest in regards to your cousin dying. That being said, it was likely the jester who did it.
Yeah.
Why was the jester in that town, though? Or maybe the jester... Maybe the jester dons a mask and he's someone else.
Well, Jester was an elf. You could tell that by his general lankiness and the pointed ears. At least half elf.
Can we tell when we were fighting the jester? Could we tell if he had half elf or full elf ears? Could we tell the difference at all, or?
Nobody was attempting to during it, so
Okay.
hard to say. I mean, half elves. Same with pretty much anything that comes to genetics. There's always a scale there as to how, elfy one is or how orky one is. So some of them have, like, relatively rounded ears with a small point. Some of them have big old full-on elf ears.
Okay. It varies person to person. Okay.
Yeah, like everything.
And Fizzywig is a full elf, correct?
Yes. Yeah, he's full elf, as far as you can tell. And Wolfgang, you had a chat with him. Yeah, he made mention that he's full elf. One of the very few in this land.
I don't think that he's the jester.
Oh.
No.
After he's done his little performances, find out why he had to skip town so much.
We could do that.
One of the gentlemen who was playing cards with the drow and the orc wanders back over to table.
Yeah, what time is it
Let's go see.
anyways?
Wolfgang walks ahead, takes a seat at this table.
Yeah, I guess we take the table ahead, and Asmo joins with them.
Oh no. I've lost all track of time.
So I shouldn't nap during the day.
You actually, the bartender actually approaches. Well, ain't no day around here. Anything I can get you, lads?
Definitely a pitcher of your most powerful ale, please, sir.
Can do.
What do you guys want?
He like his eyes kind of widen a bit as he was like about to turn away.
What do you guys want?
What's your special?
Oh, well, frankly, we ain't got much by way of specials here. We got some old spirits that people seem to enjoy. Seems to warm the blood. But ain't been able to restock for a bit of time as, well, the storm's keeping anyone from Iceforge.
Really? How long has it been happening?
Oh, this one's been going for about 2 days now. Oh, not sure if this one is due to the academy over there or if it's just the weather being the weather.
What academy?
Oh, the Academy of Wizards. One of the finest in the land outside of the capital itself.
Wow. The Academy of Wizards.
Yes, if anybody's looking to study the magical arts and try to find their way into high society, that's where they go if they have a talent for it. Most tend not to, most fail out, or just learn enough to get by, like myself here.
Do you know?
Well, you don't live this far north without it.
What's your knack?
Well, I'm a bit of a conjurer myself.
It's fine art. I'm an abjurer myself.
Well, he kind of looks around at the table. Rough crew like yourself, I imagine you come in handy.
Indeed. I'll take a glass of your spirits.
Fair enough. And you, sir? He looks over to you, Wolfgang.
I'll have some mead.
Mead. Can do. See if I got much left after, well, this lot's been here for some time.
How long has the storm been going on for?
Oh, a couple
We just
days
came
now.
up from south. Couple days. Oh boy.
Like I said, it could be one of them wizard spells going wrong, or perhaps it's just the weather. Hard to say at this point. Anyway, I'll be back with your order. He wanders back off behind the bar, starts putting together your order.
Fizzywig. Who would have thought we'd see him this soon?
I kind of expected we would. Him or Hackless.
I wonder where his friend went.
Fezziwig seems to be doing his damnedest after you walked in. Wolfgang, you caught eyes with him for a second, and since then he's been doing his damnedest not to look at your table's direction.
Is he doing his routine but with sweat drops now instead?
He's doing it to stage left, or he's doing it to stage right. He's performing for the other side of the room right now.
Oh, come back here. Osmo just pulls out a gold coin and just spins it.
Yeah, he definitely noticed us.
Oh, boy. We can't make too much of a scene because we have to stay here because of the storm. Sorry about earlier.
Sorry about that noise. That's my stomach.
No. A connected dream, though? What the fuck is that kind of wizardry? Why is that happening suddenly? I just don't get it.
Daenir leans forward into a hushed whisper. Maybe because you've seen more of his realm, you've gained access to it.
It's okay. He can have all of it he wants. I don't want to go there. That was an accidental door opening, okay?
Yeah. You don't get much of a choice whenever it comes to him. I'd suggest you start wearing red.
No thanks. Not my color.
Does me well.
It's your color.
The door behind you bursts open, and you see a kind of a figure silhouetted in the snowy backdrop. Seems like big and bulky, and it kind of waddles into the room, and then it deflates. And you see a familiar, another familiar elf standing there. Whew, heck of a storm out there today, huh? Whew.
You're telling me.
Osmo says.
Hackless is standing there.
Yeah, Wolfgang turns around in his seat. I'll say.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's you guys. Hey. How you doing?
Come have a seat.
Oh, sure. Hold on. I'm going to go set my coat down. He goes. He talks to the bartender for a little bit. Seems to make friendly chat.
Oh, just a friendly chat?
Yeah, it seems to be like almost everything this guy seems to do is friendly.
Yeah.
So what's our plan here? Are we going to beat him up or what?
I don't think beating him up. The situation doesn't warrant beating him up. After all, we figured out that they weren't behind the events. But they still ran. And I'd like to know why.
My guess, Fizzywig wanted to get out of the city for his own reasons, and Hackless was just a means to escape.
But why did Hackless offer it? That's my question.
Getting
why did he
paid,
want to leave
probably?
so bad? Well, we'll find out. That's what we're going for, man. But no, fair enough.
Hackless comes back and joins you. Sans his coat.
Sans?
Without his coat.
Did it?
So,
he sits down. He's like, well, no rooms available, but it's okay. He told me I could crash here if I needed to. How's it going, guys? How's your travel going? Oh, did you ever find that the killer?
we sure did.
Yeah.
That's good. That's great.
Honestly, it could have been even faster, though. You know,
Yeah?
it's because we had a slight problem. Two people skipped town before they were supposed to, so we had to run around dealing with that. And
That's not great.
I know. Yeah, the problem is, it was and
Asmo just points forward at him. It was you and his thumb backwards,
and him. So you know what? I feel like do you guys think an explanation would be necessary right now, Mr. Black Daenir?
Well, I didn't have anything to do with the killings, and he said he didn't, so...
Okay, but but you were, ordered by the town guard not to leave.
Well, they just said I wasn't allowed to go out the gates. That's why they closed them.
Okay, it's not technically breaking the law, but...
Yeah.
You're breaking the spirit of the law.
Oh.
It's also sort of super suspicious you leaving the scene of a crime.
But I didn't do it, though.
That's true, but it was very suspicious. And you made us very worried.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't... Ah.
Asmo insights him. Like 20 modified.
Sure thing. Let me find my dice. There we go. Yeah, this guy's seems to be genuinely sorry about, you know, leaving like that. I mean, he didn't realize that he was doing much wrong.
So was it Fezziwig's idea that you skip town?
I mean, he kind of had the whole life or death thing behind him, so I thought I'd, you know, lend a hand, and he was offering me a bit of help in, you know, getting my way, and you know, it was kind of a gamble on his part too. I had no idea where the key would take us, but lucked out, huh?
Yep, I suppose so.
So he had the key. What was your part in it?
Oh no, that was it was my key. You see, I have a lot of magic stuff. I mean, I showed you a bunch of it, but that one's special.
Who'd you get the key from?
Oh, the old man. Oh God, what's his name? He's real cool though. He's real nice.
Tommen?
Yeah, that one. Bartender comes back. He drops off your pitcher of ale, Asmo, and he gives you a small glass of spirits, Daenir, and sets the mead in front of you. Seems to be a half-poured glass. Seems to be they're on measure since they're not highly stocked on it right now. It looks at Hackless. Anything for you, sir? Oh, nah, I'm kind of low on funds. We talked about this. Right. Starts walking away.
Hey! Put his drink on my tab.
Oh, in that case, I will have...
Keep it moderate.
Water.
No, you know what I mean. Don't get high shelf whiskey and shit.
You got cocoa? Kind of like looks, shrugs, and goes back. All right, we'll see. You actually start seeing like a small green light appearing behind the bar as he appears to be incantating something.
Summoning cacao.
Yeah, he's summoning cacao, the great god of chocolate. God. Thank you. He looks towards you, Asmo.
Well, fair to say you gave us quite a scare.
I am sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, I believe you.
No, for a while there, we actually thought you murdered his cousin.
Asmo looks him dead in the fucking eye and then starts chugging his pitcher.
Oh, gee, I wouldn't. I don't.
Do you know? Never... You know you act a little bit odd.
I've been told as such. I just try to be friendly. I don't mean for it to come across as odd.
You're so friendly that it comes across as disingenuous. Not saying you weren't friendly or not, but you're so friendly with everyone that it comes across as an act that made you possibly a suspect. And then you disappear, making us believe that you're not really who you say you are. That being said, the fact that you've chilled out and just sat here with us leads me to believe you might just be like a puppy.
I like puppies. Puppies are great.
Wouldn't know.
But you just said.
I agree with that. Like puppies.
Yeah.
I can take them or leave them.
Fezziwig hops down off the stage and he just kind of goes off into a corner. Oh, hey!
What? Who's he yelling at? Fezziwig?
Hackless is just kind of waving. Hey, buddy! He can't hear me.
I should go get him. Bring him over. I'd like to say hi to him, too.
It's fine. He looks tired. I'll do that later.
You should be careful, Hackless.
Of what?
Rumor has it the Jester of Bordeaux is about.
Ooh. Well, I haven't seen him. See, do you think he's actually real? Like, I keep hearing stories, but I've never actually, like, you know, I mean, nobody's really seen him, you know?
Like his face?
No, like him. Everybody always just has rumblings of him. He's been, like, killing people and stuff. They seem to blame, like, anytime somebody goes missing on him.
How long have the stories been about?
Well, since Bordeaux got wiped off the map, I guess.
When was
Maybe,
that?
About a year and a half now, maybe? I don't know. I haven't been up here that long.
Can I do a history check on that?
With disadvantage, yes. Daenir, you could perform it with, not with advantage, but just in general.
Okay.
Double natural
double
20.
Nat 20. Holy
Give me that history.
14.
Nah, this story caught your attention, as it might have been linked to the killings of, you know, A, your cousin, and B, the you know, the tongue twister murders. And as you were doing your research, yeah, it happened about 2 years ago. Like, the town of Bordeaux just mysteriously stopped reporting in, taxes stopped flooding in from them, and when a, you know, caravan was sent, or a, you know, group was sent out to check, the town was just abandoned, and there was blood stains crusted over. No bodies to be found, though. The entire town just seemed abandoned. And nobody really knows what happened in the town. But the story that popped up around it was that this jester just showed up and killed everybody. Also with that Nat 20, you do know that the town of Bordeaux, it was an old military fort originally during the war 1,000 years ago. It was one of the last bastions of elfhood. A place where the elves made a last stand against the undead, and then when the cataclysm happened, the town just happened to be on the northern side of the maw, and there's no way for them to get south. So what remaining elves there were in that town, which is one of a few towns where the elves, you know, stayed, they just were part of this, they were just a part of this country now.
Where was Bordeaux in relation to the rest of the map?
You know what? With that as your check, give me just a second here, and I will highlight it on the map for you.
Ooh. Nick draws a little castle. There.
Is there?
There's a flag.
All right. The town of Bordeaux rests in the in between the rivers that now form two massive waterfalls that lead into the maw.
Oh boy. Okay.
It just happened to be on this very edge where the town of Bordeaux happened to reside as the cataclysm shaped the planet, or reshaped the continent. Many colonies south of it fell into the abyss. Theirs stood strong.
Hey, Hackless, while you're here, can you answer me another question? One that's
Yeah?
been bugging me for a while. This land, they love magic,
Oh, yeah.
but they hate people born with magic blood. Why?
I don't know. I mean,
great.
from what I pick up, you know, every time I hear it, it's mostly the fact that they're a danger to everybody around them. And if they can't control it, then, you know, I mean, you heard about the fires, right?
No.
People that can't control it, that just explode and take sometimes whole towns with them. I mean, I think it's barbaric, but I kind of understand where some of them are coming from. It's scary not knowing that you might be living next to somebody who's just a bomb.
Yeah, Asmo, you remember back in the town, that statue.
Yeah. Makes sense. It matches up. I just wondered where it stemmed from. Just random targeting people. It's so strange that that's not okay. And there's no group out there helping them. You know, I don't know.
Well,
like,
I mean, any
you
group
can
out
have
there...
you can have like a ghost be your goddamn carriage rider. That's just crazy to me.
Oh, is he with you guys? He's cool.
Yeah, we booked him.
I don't know.
That's a good one.
I got no ghost pun. I don't.
Don't feel bad. I've been thinking about one myself. I came up with nothing.
Anyway. So. Is there... Fezziwig and you. Fezziwig said he was going out to the capital.
Yeah, he's got a performance to make with the Archmage. Crazy, right?
Do you know anything about the Archmage? What he's doing nowadays?
Not only that he has to, look over this entire land, and he's the most powerful magician on the world. He's been ruling this country for over 1,000 years now. Well, almost 1,000 years.
Fun.
Daenir, you actually know this. It's been, since the end of the war, nearly 1,000 years.
His 1,000th year of ruling the country is actually coming up before too long.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They're having a big celebration.
How soon to the big celebration?
Huh? Can't be more than a week now, I guess.
He's described as a work of art.
That's what I've heard. I've never met him. I mean, I've never really been that far north.
Mm-hmm.
But Mr. Fezziwig gave me a little bit of inspiration to try it.
How kind of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little cold, but he's a good guy. You actually look over, and he's actually sitting at the table with the drow and the orc now.
Is he playing cards?
He seems to be chatting and playing cards, yeah. The half-orc actually has a very wide brim hat. Smoking a cigar. To a modern sensibility, he looks like a cowboy.
Wanna be a cow. Does he have chaps?
You cannot see the lower half of his body.
Yeah.
But he is wearing a duster.
So cool. Dusters are super cool.
Yep. Sure are. Wolfgang says, tipping his hat and straight
Brushing himself off.
Asmo didn't say that. I said that. Asmo thinks you're lame. No,
Atlas, you're the sociable type. You go around and you talk to everybody, and I take it you learn things. What have you heard about a man going around with quote-unquote knives for fingers? This clawed gauntlet, so to speak.
The bartender returns, wipes a bit of sweat from his brow, and sets a steaming cup of frothy cocoa in front of Hackless. There you are. And he turns around and walks away.
Man, all that work for a cup of hot chocolate.
It's really good, though. Sorry, knives for hands?
Yes, that's what we've heard him described as. This
You roll for him.
clawed, almost like a clawed gauntlet.
I mean, I've never heard anything like that. He rolled a nat 1, but wow, that sounds like really cool. He pulls out a notebook and starts kind of like writing down in it.
Asmo just like finishes, like he's down half his beer already.
Give me
So-
you ordered a pitcher. Give me a con check.
No, but I'm a snake. I have a strong.
Yes, I know you have proficiency in con saves, so
17.
yeah, you're fine.
So
A man
heard
with
you.
knives on his fingers.
Yeah.
I think I heard about that actually when we were in the last town.
Mm-hmm. That's
What
why I
did
was
you-
asking.
What did you hear?
Something in... He was with a tall half-elf, and
Tall half elf.
they were with acolytes of... They were acolytes of you-know-who. Why? Have you heard anything else?
Half
Heard
what's
it?
up? Me?
No.
No. These two.
Okay. Goes back to his drawing.
Heard? No. But Daenir just stares at Wolfgang for a moment, a little bit too long. And
Do I...
back
Do
into
I
a-
do I insight him to know what he's trying to tell me?
You
I mean, I know what he's
Are-
trying
are-
to tell me.
are okay. Daenir, give a persuasion and Wolfgang an insight, and I'm gonna see if it adds up to the threshold in my head.
Okay.
15.
12.
Yeah, that's more than my threshold.
It's basically what we were talking about in the carriage before we arrived.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, Hackless,
Uh-huh.
heard you swung by the Wandering Weasel.
Oh yeah, that's where I showed up. I mean, isn't that really nice place with the hot tub?
Asmo just makes a face like, oh shit, okay, I can just go right into this.
Heard you got yourself a key.
Oh yeah. He pulls it out, tink, sets it on the table.
Asmo looks, and Asmo looks at Wolfgang Daenir like, show him our key. He just makes it. He just feels like a little nod. Little eyebrow.
Wolfgang reaches into his pocket and puts it down on the table.
All right. You notice, unlike your key, his key's eyes, like the weasel at the end of the key. You know, the key seems to, like, the key part of the key seems to, like, spread out from the body of the weasel. But the head of the weasel, that cute little cartoony weasel, his weasel's eyes are closed. It looks like it's napping. Yours are wide open and with that same little sprightly, happy mouth on it.
Hmm.
That's really clever.
That must be the enchantment on it. You must have
Yeah, I
used
can't use it for another moon, but
Yeah, you used it to leave the town, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So what'd you do to get yourself a key? Gotta get into his good books to get one of those.
Oh well, you know, I like you said, I'm friendly with everybody. I tell lots of stories. He likes stories. He likes telling stories.
Oh, yeah,
And-
it does.
Yeah, and I saw him a bunch of times when I was out looking for cool stuff to enchant, and eventually he just gave me one of these and said I could drop by any time.
Asmo just shakes his head, going like, "This fucking guy." Asmo doesn't know how to deal with this guy.
So what's the best story you've got?
He begins to tell you a tale of a cave that he went into. All right, so we were going in, It was me and 2 other people who were really interested in, like, you know, seeing what was down there. They seemed a bit, you know, on the bigger side. And I'm not much of a, you know, kind of holds his hands up in like a put up your dukes formation kind of guy. So I was really happy to have them with me. And as we were going through, we found these really cool crystals, but I wasn't really looking for that stuff. They weren't really magical at all. But I found this awesome looking snakehead statue. And as I was messing with it, a door opened. And we found this whole temple just full of stuff. It was so cool. And eventually the guys, they started getting, like, you know, a little shady. But they ended up, you know, getting killed by a golem. Like you do. And I found a really cool sword there.
Really now?
Yeah.
What's so cool about it?
It was made of this really cool metal. Like, well, it was a bunch of metals, actually. See, the blade part of it was like this. It seemed to be made out of mithril, and then it had this awesome blue, crackly looking, like, design going through it, and that turned out to be made out of some completely different metal. I haven't really figured out what that was. And the hilt was made out of, well, let's see, what was it? It was, like, made out of marble, I think. Oh, so cool. I missed that sword.
What happened to it?
Somebody stole it.
Huh.
Jesus.
Or I lost it. It was one of those. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a shame.
How'd you survive the golem?
Oh, I was watching it crush them, and I walked away.
Insight that. 4, nothing. Okay.
Yeah. Crush those dudes.
God damn.
Sometimes you gotta know when to walk away.
Yeah, and sometimes when a 14-foot pile of rocks is smashing some big guys, that's a good time to walk away. That's what I thought, anyway. Plus, I had that really cool sword, and I really wanted to show it to people. I probably should not have shown it to as many people as I did.
Yeah, looks like someone wanted it a lot more than you wanted to keep it.
Or at the very least, they wanted it enough to get it from me, and, well, I'm not horrifically hard to trick. What about you?
Let me think for a moment. I've got a fair number of stories. Let's see. We've got. I can tell you the tale of the Watcher Stone. I can tell you the tale of the Bone Lord.
Bone
Or
Lord.
He grins a little bit and leans forward. I can tell you the tale of the Jester of Bordeaux.
Tale of the Jester of Bordeaux. Ooh. I mean, I've heard lots of stories about this guy, but, you know, I'm always interested in more. And as he's saying this, the door swings open again, and standing there is a figure in a long cloak. Like, the sleeves seem to drape all over the place. The hood is down over his face. Like, you can't see his face. It's in shadow. Well, you can't see the figure's face in the shadow. Doesn't seem to make any, like... Sorry, I'm trying to find a good token to represent this thing, but... needs to be different than everyone else. This guy has a cloak. Oh. Doesn't make any notion. Just kind of starts slumping forward. Oh, welcome. Feel free to find yourself a seat. Just kind of slowly, kind of like... He seems to move almost in kind of like a slug formation where everything kind of bobs back and forth as he moves. He goes and sits at this table with these with 3 people over on the side. And they eventually get kind of creeped out and start moving away.
Asmo rolls perception on this guy. 13.
His movements are fairly, like, they're very odd. You don't know what this guy is. You don't know what race. It's just very weird. And everybody that he sat with just kind of got freaked out and sort of like wandered away. Like he seemed to sat down without talking, and these three guys, they were having a nice conversation, and then they were just kind of looking at each other awkwardly and decided to move.
Okay, then.
I think I'm gonna go play some cards.
Asmo just gets up and go say hello to Fizzywig. Asmo winks at the two of them.
Tell him I say hi.
Oh, I will.
So Asmo wanders over to where they're playing cards and sits down.
Room for
Daenir,
one
you
more.
begin to
Asmo
bust into your
puts-
story about the jester as Asmo moves away.
Yeah.
Asmo, you begin to approach the table.
Asmo
The
puts his
orc-
hand
the
on
orc-
Fezzywig's shoulder.
Hey, Fizzywig, it's
I was gonna say,
It's
as you approach, the orc kind of like looks up a little at you from under his hat. The glow from his cigar kind of lights his face up a little bit. He's got a scar to the left of his right eye, and one of his fangs is kind of shattered.
Oh, damn.
He looks back down at his cards. The drow
that-
also kind of looks over at you.
What does the drow look like?
He looks very similar to the drow that you found in Dark Launch, but this one seems to be a bit older.
Okay. Male or female?
Male.
Okay.
All right, now you can approach Fezziwig.
Asmo puts his hand on Fezzywig's shoulder.
ah, Fizzywig.
Hello. Oh, yes.
We missed you.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, no, it's okay, dude. Let's play some cards. Room for one more.
Sure thing. The
What's the
orc
buy?
says as he starts shuffling.
What's the buy-in?
Well, right now we're playing for 2. Right now the buy-in's 10 gold.
All right, sounds good.
Asmo puts 10 gold down. And by the way, you can switch over to Daenir telling the story here, if you would prefer. We just cut back in between this.
Oh, no worries. This is actually something I've been waiting
Oh, okay.
10 gold.
for somebody to go over there anyway.
Asmo drops down 10 gold.
All right. The orc begins shuffling cards, but they appear to be... They're kind of shiny, and as he shuffles them, he's doing it with some effort. He starts dealing out cards. So what's your story, Snake?
Asmo looks up.
I'm running bodyguard detail and the Catman over there writing a book.
Pay good, I guess. Got 10 gold on you at least. 10 gold
Yeah.
you're willing to lose. Kind of looks up
Oh.
at you.
Asmo smiles.
I need another golden tooth.
If that's the case, then you're probably... Well, if that's the case, then you'd want to start a fight.
Ah, come on, the night is young.
Besides, Asmo points over to the guy at the other who sat down at the table over there, what everyone's scampered away from.
Looks like that guy's wanting to start something.
He's facing you four. He's sitting at that table, but he's turned his chair around and he's facing you.
Anything weird about his face?
You can't see it. It's just
Okay.
shadowed in that hood.
Yeah,
That ain't fucking creepy.
ain't that the truth? Name's Mr. Black. You guys know this is Fezziwig, a traveling actor, but here's the thing. This guy needs to get to the capital. Isn't that right?
I smack him hard on the shoulder.
Roll a strength check, actually. Athletics.
Okay. 13.
Kind of jerks forward. Yes,
Ain't that right, Fezziwig? Yeah.
Yes, I do. and I was going to say I am sorry for my method of
Oh, save it.
exiting.
Oh, save it for the cards.
Fine,
Fezziwick.
I will.
What's your two name, by the way? What are your names, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, the orc kind of gives like a little bit of a half smile. Harper Valentine.
Arthur Valentine. Ooh, that's
Harper.
nice. Harper Valentine? Ooh.
Yeah. The drow looks around. Don't really have a name. You can call me... Yeah, that works. Yeah. Yes, that'll do fine.
Oh, Drow, so mysterious.
Alrighty.
Alright, orc deals out some cards. Go ahead and roll me. I have to roll something for the orc real quick.
No worries.
By the way, as he hands you the cards, you realize that they're all made of metal.
Can you repeat that, Nick?
Yeah, I said as he hands you the cards, you realize that they're all made of metal.
Oh.
Oh, snap.
Oh, neat. These cards are made of metal. Never seen that before.
All right, go ahead and give me a charisma roll.
A charisma roll. Ooh. Dun, da, 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 da. 13.
All right, the orc's able to outbluff you, and you lose the first hand.
Nah.
So I lose 10 gold, or how much gold do I lose?
Oh, this is going to be basically like a 5-round thing, and the amount of
Alright.
gold you'll have is based on the end of it.
Okay.
Can I do something in the meantime?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, my toxic masculinity is getting the better of me, so I'm gonna change seats just so we're not sitting next to each other.
Oh, okay.
And I cast Detect Magic
On Hackless?
on this guy.
On that guy over there?
I mean, it's a 30-foot radius, so I just shifted sheets so I'd be closer.
Yeah, as you look over, there's definitely some magic stuff on this dude. Including, there appears to be magical gems on his arms. You're not sure exactly what they are, but those are magic gems, all right.
No school or anything.
They seem to be multitude of schools.
Daenir. Daenir.
Yeah.
That guy that's at the table all by himself, he's got some sort of strange gems on his arms. Flowing with magic.
Your nods.
Alright, that's all I wanted.
Asmo, anything you want to talk with the table about?
So how long you guys been trapped here in the storm? Just got here.
I've been here for about a day and a half now. Hard to really measure time when the fucking sun don't come out at all.
Yeah. It's like the one time you can day drink and not feel guilty about it, though.
Yeah, it's like nothing but night drinking.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
the drow
yeah.
gets it. Draken looks over.
Here's the thing, though. What is worth waiting this amount of time for? Because my writer, he wants to get up there for the festival and write about that. He wants to write a book about the North and all the cultures and everything up here. Are you guys going up there for some work?
Yeah. I'm just out here on a journey, looking for something for me war chief.
Oh. An offering?
Yeah, something like that.
Fair enough, fair enough.
As he deals out more cards, give me another charisma roll.
Okay. Come on, good roll. Come on. Where are you, Charisma? 11.
Wow, that is incredibly improbable. Everybody else, you win. You won this hand.
Wow! Wow! Man, I bluffed with 2 4s. How did I win?
I ain't used to reading faces like yours. I'm still getting used to the game, says the drow.
Oh, excuses. I just do a surprise snake face, like. We're more expressive than we let on. So you're trying to get a prize for your war chief. Not a match.
Something fitting of his machinations.
Now, is he into magic or is he into the more arms and fighting hand to hand?
Oh, he definitely likes smashing, but you know, I mean, we all's got to have some edge over the competition. Anything to get us closer to Oasis.
Oasis.
Yeah, I'm from out west. Been traveling for about a year now, just looking for something good.
Yet forgive me, I'm very far away.
Oh, right, I forget about you folk.
Oasis, what's that?
Well,
sounds like it's worth it, whatever it is.
it's where the greatest battle of all time, the greatest warlord ever. They say that he who can best the best can take the seat at Oasis. And those who can't fucking die.
There's a beauty simpleness to that, isn't there?
It's a hard land we live in. But my kind ain't usually welcome around here. Gotta travel through the back lots, try to find me some places to stay that, you know, accept people of my ilk.
There's gotta be plenty of contract work out here for someone of your skill set.
Oh, yeah, you make ends meet. Easy enough. Most fall to the life of crime, go to the underworld. Ain't that right, Elfie? Fezziwig looks up. No, not you, this one. Sorry. Not you, two different types. And Drow looks around. Indeed. Drow looks towards you. You.
Yes.
Match a description of one I seek.
Oh my. Who do you seek?
Yeah, all I know is I look for a serpent man.
Well, I'm not a serpent man. As Asmo is moving his cards around his hand, I'm a snake man. Distinct difference. Serpents are much taller.
Well, forgive me if I do not recognize the difference. I am not normally on the surface. He's wearing sunglasses, by the way.
Oh, he is he?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Well, why are you looking for this fellow?
They say that, Serpent Man happens to have connections with the Deadeye Guild.
Asmo has his cards and it's like trying to...
I'm simply looking to make an introduction.
Well, tell you what, if I see this snake guy you've been looking for, I can make introductions for you. What's your name? Actually.
Yes, I suppose that would be a hard one to throw around.
Oh, they just assume I'm insulting. He would just assume I'm insulting him.
That is not my intention. For the sake of introductions, I'll go with Vec.
Is Vec my character, Nick?
No,
In the last campaign?
no, he's long since dead.
Damn it! Okay. Vec. Fuck you, Connor! Damn you, Traitoro!
Well, Vec, I know that this snake man has a connection to the Deadeyes, but it's not one that he can really go about utilizing in a very safe manner all the time. Through association, mostly. For example, this snake man you're looking for. I think I know who you're talking about.
Do
Pretty
you?
sure. I think I do. Interesting that of all places I bump into you here. Who'd you hear about me from?
Well, I didn't hear about you specifically. I was simply told to find a certain number of people that match a description, and you happen to match one of them.
Do what? Take them out?
No. As I said, I simply wish to make an introduction.
Nice to meet you, Vec. Call me Mr. Black.
Very nice to meet you, Mr. Black.
The orc's kind of looking around impatient.
We playing cards or what?
I thought you were gonna call.
I'm fucking dealing them out here. You ain't picked up your fucking hand.
Oh, fine then. Pick up my goddamn hand. Sorry, we're having a conversation here.
Well, yeah, but you have conversation while you fucking play. Jesus.
You can do two things at once. Come on, Valentine.
Yeah, you can, but look at your fucking cards.
Oh, come on, Valentine. You're not going anywhere.
Fair enough.
Fezziwig actually stands up.
Well, charming as this has been, I'm just going to fold out.
He steps away.
Hey, Fezziwig, before you go.
He turns and looks at you.
Go say hi to Daenir and especially Wolfgang. Just, you don't want to make it awkward and not say hi to them before you leave.
Asmo says, shooting him daggers with his eyes.
He kind of nods his head. And Wolfgang Daenir, as you're finishing up your story about the Jester of Bordeaux, Fezziwig approaches the table and sits down across from you, Wolfgang.
Ah.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Hello. I believe I owe you an apology for my quick escape.
It was our quick escape.
Yes, quite.
You sure do.
Funny enough, as fate would have it, I wouldn't... You got here the same time I did. If I had believed in you, I would have gotten here at the same time anyway, and I am sorry. I just like my life, and I wish to keep it. I am sorry if I harmed your investigation in any way.
My cousin died.
I am very sorry.
Takes a big swig of his mead. Well, all's forgiven. I'm sure the Archmage is looking forward to your performance.
Yeah, nobody knows how he thinks. I certainly hope he's looking forward to the introduction, but, you know, not many of my kind tend to return from the north.
So why'd you come? On a whim?
No.
Trying to make your life better on the chance that you might not even come back. You're willing to throw it away to perform for the Archmage.
He kind of sits and stares at you in a relatively serious face.
This journey I make is of self-preservation. Nobody turns down his invitation.
And he pulls out a black scroll from his, vest pocket.
I'm cursed. If I don't get there by the time specified, I will die.
That makes a lot of sense.
So,
The Archmage cursed you through the mail.
well, he cursed me through an envoy, but yes. The envoy disintegrated to dust as he handed me this scroll. And then the curse passed on to me. And should I wish to not end up the same, I must be in the capital by the time I am requested.
Well, that's a stroke of bad luck. And for what it's worth, I apologize that that happened to you.
Appreciate it, but it's far from the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Life is life, after all. He's kind of holding a glass of wine, and he takes a sip from it.
Well, just so happens we're headed up north as well.
So it would seem, as I believe we discussed previously. With, your serpent friend, that is. Said you're writing a book, Mr. Daenir?
Absolutely. The magic up here is so intensely powerful, I can almost feel it in the air.
You have no idea. If your goal is truly to meet the Archmage, I warn you, be careful. He is fairly impulsive, and while he does tend to listen to his counsel, none of them have more power than he.
I've heard he's the most powerful mage in the world.
The most powerful mortal mage in the world, perhaps. Some still tell the tale of Arcanos, although those that do tend not to be around very long. The fact that I just uttered his name is technically blasphemy. But I'm drunk, I don't care. He takes another drink.
Would we know who this Arcanos is?
You've heard the name before. He's the god of magic. The father of elves.
The Wizzlesteins called him Daenir's patron.
Anybody who studies magic is, if they do look to a god, typically it is Arcanos.
What else can you tell us about the Archmage? I've heard rumors, I've read a fair bit. I've been told that he's considered a work of art.
What could I tell you about Jimothy Blackwort? Not much. I don't know many who have met him. My family was once nobility, but we never quite made it up to the capital. And since we fell on hard times, there hasn't been much reason to anyway. Especially now that well, goes back to drinking, kind of clams up a little. But now you know the Archmage's name is Jimothy Blackwort.
You cut out Jimothy Black what?
Jimothy Blackwort.
Okay.
Good old Jim. Jimmy.
So, tell me, you two. You saw what was going on in Cold Reach. Who do you think that it was?
Well, if I were a betting man, which I'm frankly terrible at it, I would have put my money on the widow. She seemed a spiteful shrew. Me? Oh, I don't know who. Well, I wasn't really around for most of it, so.
Yeah, you
Was
were
it-
hanging out with your friends.
Yeah. Oh God, it wasn't one of them, was it?
No.
Oh, good.
We met one of them, though. Lovely woman, runs the magic shop. Spoke very highly about you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're great. Which one was that one?
I believe it was one of the Philistines.
Ah, yeah, the Philistines. They're great. They're real nice.
Mm-hmm. It was actually the barkeep, Sandra.
You don't say. Why?
Her motives were complicated.
They must have been. I certainly didn't expect it. Her and her niece, Clara, was it? She was, very nice. They were very chatty. Clara, very, very friendly.
Well, Mr. Fezziwig, I'm going to ask you a very personal question, but it's important.
Well, might need more drinks then. Finishes his glass of wine and kind of sets it down. But go
And
ahead.
wave the barkeep over.
He's been cautiously like looking back and forth at the guy over like sitting at the table, and kind of nods to you, still kind of keeping like him in like the corner of his eye. Oh, what can I get you lot? Anything more?
Another glass of wine for the good elf.
You seem
Fezziwig kind of like bows his head to you in kind of a gratitude. Anything for the rest of you?
I'm good. You seem nervous about the new guy.
Seems a shady lot. Doesn't seem very interested except in whatever's going on over there. Points toward the table where Asmo and everybody's playing cards.
Jenga! No, I'm joking.
Yeah, the orc just, son of a bitch. Actually, give me another charisma roll.
All right, here we go. Come on, Billy. And that is 12.
You and the drow split the pot.
We each get half. Sorry
Is
there.
that how we play?
Yes,
Motherfucking-
that's how it goes. Sometimes you only get half of what you want.
That's how it works, I suppose. The bartender heads back to go get some more wine. No question?
I know minstrels like you. Sometimes they get around a lot, if you know what I mean.
I believe so.
You and Clara. Did that ever happen?
Oh, no. Far too young for me. Although I will say you are hard-pressed to find a town around here that doesn't have somebody of my lineage in it. Kind of looks over at the table. There's like the table behind you. There's a bunch of dark-haired half-elves. I mean, odds are one of them at least.
Huh. Well, I suppose that's all I needed to know. Exactly what was Clara doing? I was friendly.
Well, she's a friendly girl. She'd often be, well, when I first started performing there, she was one of the ones who cheered loudest, and she'd often approach me as the bar was being closed up and be fairly flirtatious. I wouldn't lie when I said that I might have been tempted, but I had more pressing concerns, and pissing off the patron of the establishment that was allowing me to stay there wasn't exactly in my best interest.
That's fair enough. You're probably lucky you didn't.
Speaking from experience, are we?
Well,
Am I?
let's just say Sandra wouldn't have killed you. Clara would have.
Well, so they were in it together then.
Something like that.
Seems I skipped out on quite the adventure. Would have made for a fine tale, I bet.
This ain't the kind of thing you want to be spreading around.
Oh, trust me, you would be surprised. The dirges that make for entertainment of the masses.
I'm not quite sure you understand.
Oh, trust me, I understand plenty.
There are forces at work here. Beyond your comprehension. Beyond mine.
Thing about the world. When isn't there?
Ain't that the truth? There's always something waiting in the darkness, always watching.
It's not always waiting in the darkness either. He says, kind of eyeing over to the shrouded figure. Seriously, what the fuck is that?
Not sure, but he's got magic on him.
I don't think it's bipedal either.
It's an it now. Okay, well.
Well, we don't know. Like, I don't know if it's humanoid.
I think it's some sort of malformed goblin that happened to be conjoined with a larger hobgoblin that happens to slink around and sits in chairs really weird.
Well, that would
I mean,
be
obviously
something.
it's hideous. It doesn't want to show its face, so.
That would be something.
Hackless kind of like slams his hands down on the table. There, finished it. Kind of slides the book forward, and he's drawn this glove that has these knives at the end of it. It's a very articulate design. And I figure I might be able to add some slots in there for some, enchanted gems or something. But it looks like, I don't know. I like it as a base. But I'm not very good at the whole smithing thing.
As long as the gems aren't pink.
I mean, I guess that would depend on the metals that are used. Yeah, I'll talk with my uncles about that when I get back.
I like it. Like, although the only thing that I could see is with the clawed tips, it'd be a real pain to snap your fingers.
He snaps his fingers.
Yeah.
You're right. Hold on. He goes back and pulls up a fresh page and starts drawing. Fezziwig just kind of looks over at you. Why would you need to snap your fingers in combat? Meanwhile, back over at the poker table.
Why do you want to make introductions, though? That's my curious take.
Well, I can't really say. I just have my reasons.
Okay.
If I can make them, and if I can find a way to join such a illustrious organization, I think it would solve a lot of problems for me.
Well, let me say this.
As I'm being handed. I'm looking through my hand right now.
You want to join the Deadeyes?
Yes.
You gotta be willing to throw everything away, no matter how precious it is to you. Because when you're with the Deadeyes, you ain't with anything else. Nothing else matters. No God, no friendships, no family. None of it. You want to get noticed, you gotta be good enough. For what I know, they recruit. Very occasionally do they recruit older members. They mostly target young people, so they may cultivate it. That they can cultivate a reprioritization.
Well,
Asmo just says, kind of gritting his teeth a little bit.
thank you for the information. That is unfortunate for my situation.
No, it doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you can't find an you can't fall in with them. Just know you got to do something that makes you necessary.
Thank you, Mr. Black.
No worries.
I shall take your advice.
No worries.
Asmo finishes off his drink.
All right, call. Orc
Oh.
slams down another chip on the table.
Oh. Call.
Go ahead and roll charisma.
Charisma, and I'm now going to 11. I can see someone's
Orc got a straight flush.
son of a bitch. Ah!
Weep.
Ooh. Darn tootin', that's not good.
Someone's been playing Red Dead Redemption poker.
Is what happens when you're too busy focusing on one member at the table and you don't try to read the other.
Hey, I was helping out someone the best I could.
In a right good amount that paid you, eh? Come on. Looks like you're about to bust out.
Oh, come on now. I got one more roll in me.
Very well. Starts shuffling the deck, passes it your way. Your deal.
Is that guy? By the way, that guy is still staring at our table.
Hey, freak! You want to play? He just kind of looks over. The hooded figure doesn't move. Continues sitting there. What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
No.
Alright, hold on. Pulls off a top card and throws it. And it flies like a frickin' shuriken towards this guy. And it slowly moves its head out of the way. And this card sticks into the wall behind this hooded guy.
Oh, whoa.
He's got good reflexes on him. What's the card I just threw? I just want to know so we can place fair. Fuck it, I'll get it. Stands up and starts walking over to it.
Yeah, Daenir's looking now.
And do you think, does he fight with his cards, do you think, there, Vec? Like what?
It seems that way.
No,
Pulls the card out of the wall. The figure doesn't move at all, even when the guy's like walking right next to him. What the fuck's your story, mate? Blows smoke towards it. Walks back to the table. Freak you on that one.
Didn't even flinch when you blew smoke in his face.
No. Seems right interested in, well, one of you anyway.
One,
All
two,
right, give
three.
me one more. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
1, 2, 3, not it.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Ooh. Let's see. Like the only way anybody's gonna split this pot is if they roll a nat 20, and nobody does. Yeah, you take it. You end up leaving this game with 15 gold. You started with 10.
Yay, I had 5 gold.
Yeah, you got 5 more gold.
Alright.
Alright, good game, gents. Good game.
Hey, Vec.
Yes.
Asmo tosses the 5 coins he actually won.
For your trouble. If you want to find them, you gotta do it. From what I've heard, south of the Maw.
Asmo smiles and walks away.
Thank you, Mr. Black.
Asmo tips his knot hat and goes over and sits down between Daenir and Wolfgang.
Ugh. That was fun. Oh. What'd I miss?
Not a lot.
We're
No,
just
that was
talking
awkward.
with our two friends here.
Did he just turn? Fezziwig's pointing behind you, Asmo. And as you look over your shoulder, the hooded figure is now facing this table.
Ah, fuck. All right.
Let's go see what he wants, boys.
Oh, boy.
I don't envy you. Hackless scoots over to the next chair. So I'm working on this.
Hey, you too.
Sorry.
He turns to Hackless and Fezziwig.
Yeah?
Is there any way I can get in touch with you?
I never really thought. I've never really had to. I've never really had anybody like really ask.
Don't give him your cell phone number. He'll text you nonstop.
I don't know. Maybe I could maybe design something. Ooh, that'd be fun. Ooh, that'd give me a project tonight.
Well, let me know what you come up with. If you ever find
Okie dokie.
yourselves a bit further south, might have some work for you too.
Appreciate it.
Gets up and walks over to the table. Whoa, my mouse. All right.
Asmo walks beside Daenir and asks to shoot him. I want to sit across from the guy.
Yeah. All right.
Excuse me, Daenir.
Asmo sits down.
This figure is just staring at you.
At Asmo?
Yes, at Asmo, and sometimes sometimes it shifts towards Daenir, but mostly it's at Asmo.
But never towards Wolfgang.
No, for whatever reason.
You. Why are you staring at me?
I need assistance.
With what?
My master. He sets his hands on the table and you hear like a clanking noise as he does.
Or his
My master.
Going to ready True Strike.
Funny thing about True Strike, you can actually cast that without anybody noticing since it's all somatic.
Yeah, if he looks like he's making a move, I'm going to cast True Strike.
My master. My master is lost. Please. Help.
Can I tell that his fingers are blades?
You can go ahead and make a perception check.
Modified 20.
You can see the tips of these knives sinking into the wood as his hands are resting on the table.
Asmo gulps. Is the voice reminiscent of what I saw in the dream?
It is almost exactly like what you heard, except it's speaking very casually now.
What is your name?
Asmo says with his hands on the hilts of his blades.
Name, my name. What is my name? My name. Robert. It's Robert. Name is Robert.
What does your master need?
My master's lost. Please. He needs help. My master's his mind, it's drifted, it's shifted, it's changed, it's warped, it's not the same. The man I love him. Help, please.
Where is he?
North.
Is your master the Archmage?
No. Not Archmage, no. He is my master. My master is a great man, wise, powerful, brilliant man. He speaks for the god, but the god, it may betray. No, impossible. The master would never betray.
You're the one that came to us, aren't you?
Yes, the world of dark, the world of blood. You can travel. You have seen.
Yes. I've seen. I've been many times.
Many times more than more than the master even, potentially. I look at you, I know, I see your eyes.
And as he looks at you, you see this dull shine coming from within that seems to be emanating from his eyes.
Your mind, it's full. It's not warped or broken. It changes. No. Masters is not good. Masters need help. Please.
Look over towards Wolfgang and Asmo.
Wolfgang's got a look on his face like he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Well, you two will know better than I would.
Remember that dream we had?
Oh, I recall.
I do. I didn't have that dream.
Yeah, well, a third person was having a dream.
No, it's not dream. Asmo.
And he looks you in the eyes.
It's not dream. It
is dream.
No, it's world. World beyond, different, changed, full of blood, yes, but still.
I think this is the guy from the other end of the scrying orb, Wolfgang.
Orb, scrying orb.
Do you recall a giant bone creature?
Creatures of bone, no, but flesh and blood, yes, much blood. There has been much blood. I let it for the master. I produce blood and give and take, and he in turn give power and get power. But no, it's different now.
So your master never had an orb, a crystal orb that he talked into sometimes.
Orbs, the master will, yes, sometimes, but it's not normal, no.
Sort of looks to Daenir and Asmo.
Are you saying that things were normal, and then you couldn't contact him, and now things aren't normal?
I can still see and touch and speak, but he's not the same. His mind is fractaled, shattered, different. It needs to be made whole. Try with blood, try with flesh, but it's no.
The gems are warping his mind. That's my only theory.
Does he have few gems or many gems?
Master produces many.
Produces.
He finds the worthy, presents and gives, and all for the glory of the god. The god who gives now takes.
If we are to help your master, we must know if he is known by any other name beside Master. Do you know of such name?
Master name. Master name. Master's name.
Master is title.
Master title. What name? What is name of love? I cannot recall. I cannot recall his name.
Can you lead us to him?
I can try.
Asmo just shoots Wolfgang. Are you fucking serious? Look.
You help. You are hunters. You find the gems. You collect, but your mind's no fractal, no shatter, no break. You have many. I have 2. Give one now. Give one when master better.
I say we give him a hand. If
Yes, a hand, give a hand. And he's like, you hear this sickening slice as one of his arms protrudes and slams into the other one, and the rest of it goes limp. The bar is taken aback, and a lot of these people are disgusted by the sound of what they just heard. Yes, and he slides out of one of his sleeves, half of his arm, one of it's bleeding, and his fingers have had these massive knives jammed into them. And at the end of his back of his hand is one of these gems sewn into his flesh. Hand, gem, have,
Fucking
save.
Oh my
Master,
God.
save him. And he starts to slump forward as the blood oozes out of his cloak.
Daenir's going to grab a healing potion from his bag, and he's going to try to give it to this person or this creature.
All right, you tilt his head back, and you notice that his eyes are kind of rolling into the back of his head. As you peel back his cloak, he's got these wild hair that kind of stands on end. It's black and curly and just sort of stands up. He's got this weird sort of, like, he has a beard, but he's not a guy that can grow a beard sort of beard.
Mm-hmm.
And as you pour this down his mouth, the wound begins to heal. And then he's just kind of sleeping.
Okay, so healing potion is 2d4 plus 2, correct?
Yeah, for flavor, if he's stabilized.
Okay.
You're not in combat, so.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Mr. Valentine in the back stands up. What the fuck was that? All right, so you have this unconscious, short-looking man in front of you with one arm now, and the other arm is sitting on this table with a gem on it, just pulsing.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll take the hand and I'll just slip it into my bag.
The hand? The whole hand?
Yeah. The whole hand will not fit. It is pretty big. These blades are each, they are between 6 and 8 inches long.
Jesus.
All right, then can I at least...
Yeah, the Mr. Valentine has walked up. Mr. Harper Valentine. What the fuck's this? Oh, yeah, I was right. He's ugly as fuck. Ha! Oh, shoot. What the fuck's with all this?
He's been infected by one of those crystals that you have been hearing about.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with that, I suppose. Interesting. The drow is kind of nosing around him now, too. And Hackless kind of sprints over. Ooh, can I see the hand? Can I see the hand? Can I see the hand? Can I see the hand?
Hackless,
just kind of bouncing around.
Hackless, calm down.
Sorry. Can I see it, though? Kind of leans forward.
You can see it after I'm done with it.
Okay. The bartender walks up. I don't know if I can allow this sort of thing to continue. I can't
Tell you what.
can't just throw him out in the cold, but
You got any rope?
Let's just-
I'll go check.
Why don't we just take him up to the room? That way he can at least have a place to sleep.
No.
And we can talk to him when he gets conscious again.
No, let's tie him up first.
Bartender walks back and heads out into the storeroom.
He disappears.
Yeah, Mr. Valentine is examining his other arm.
Jesus. By the gods, how does someone do that to themselves?
Not without wanting it.
The craftsmanship on the blades, not particularly well designed. How do you think he wipes himself?
I don't think he does.
Gross. Ew.
You don't get too close.
Eh.
Who knows what we're dealing with? This seems to be... I've never seen anything quite like this before.
I'll go ahead
seen
and-
one this calm.
You've seen another?
Asmo says, looking right at Vec.
I've seen all sorts of things. Most of them seem to go mad much quicker, although this one does not seem to be sane, certainly.
Daenir, what are you doing with the hand you have? Are you trying to get the gem out of it? Or?
I'm getting the gem out of it.
All right,
With
how
my
so?
dagger in my mage hand.
All right, dagger and mage hand.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and give me a arcane check and a sleight of hand check for the dagger.
Okay. Arcane check is a 24.
All right, the
Sleight of hand is an 8.
all right, you're really digging into that flesh. You're getting a huge chunk of the hand with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're butchering this man's hand.
Mm.
The Harper Valentine kind of looks over.
You ain't done this before, have you?
Nope. Unfortunately. Well, fortunately.
Yeah, it's a lot easier if you just...
And he actually starts like reaching towards the gem to grab it and just rip it out.
Hey, no. Wolfgang slams his hand down on the table.
Whoa.
You don't want to touch that.
You really don't.
You touch that, you become like him. Or worse.
I like shrink like 3 feet and... Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Or worse.
What's worse than that?
Loving every second of it.
I can think of worse things.
The bartender comes back out. He has rope.
Oh. I guess we could tie him to this chair at least.
Might want to get him out of the sight of the other patrons.
Oh,
We'll take him up to our room.
all right, if you say so.
All right.
Yeah, I'll help.
Valentine offers.
Oh, here we
Question.
go.
If he's... Can you be... If I were to cast a spell on him and he's unconscious, does that mean that he would automatically fail a save?
Depends on the save.
It would be reduce.
Like to shrink him?
Yeah. Shrink him to make him easier
what kind
to
of
carry.
what save is that?
Constitution saving throw. Unless it's, if it's unwilling, it has to make a Constitution saving throw.
I'd say he'd make that roll with disadvantage, but
Okay. Then he'd have to make a DC 14.
all right.
Let me pull out my D20.
Yep, that's a failure.
Then you brings a little bit of iron powder across his staff. It crackles with blue electricity a little bit. He points it. Shrink. And the giant thing begins shrinking down.
Well, he's not giant. He is he's
Oh.
barely cracking 5'5".
Well, he's now small.
Oh, he's like a little baby, a little... Oh, yeah, stinky baby.
Yep.
Uh,
We got about a minute, folks.
yeah, Harper just kind of lifts him up from the back of the cloak.
Lead the way.
Be careful.
All
towards the
babies
room.
are stinky.
Ain't that the truth? I would assume.
All right,
Actually, no, I have one. This one's just not as cute.
Kids is wonderful, ain't they?
Yeah, they sure are.
All right, you the bartender kind of like leads you up or out, or at least out of the main bar area. I got a storage room out back this way. We can take him there. If you don't, I'd really rather this not be in one of my rooms. I don't like having to clean that.
Okay. Well, show us to the back room then.
Can I insight him real fast too?
Yeah, go ahead.
5.
As far as you're aware, bartender's not lying. Doesn't really want to clean up that sort of mess.
All right.
He leads you to a storage area. It seems to be a place with a bunch of broken chairs in it, some whole chairs, a bunch of plates, mugs, a couple of barrels.
The graveyard of bar fights.
Yeah. There's definitely some blood-stained furniture in here.
Wait.
You set him down in the chair, and as he starts to regrow, you tie him up. Who wants to do the tie-in?
What kind of check is that? Or is that
I
metagaming?
believe it is a sleight of hand to try to tie him up proper.
Asmo will do it. I got a decent. I got
Right.
a decent.
Asmo, I bet you tied people up before.
Oh, ha ha ha. Like 1 or 2. 7.
But it's been a while. You got like a bow tied on the back
I
there.
have not done it in a while. Why don't you? Can someone else? Anyone else?
All right,
do
somebody,
this?
one of you can give him an assistance.
I don't
or,
want
an
to.
assist.
I don't want him to break out of this. I have no idea what we're dealing with here. This guy's clearly insane.
Natural one.
You
cut the
untie
rope.
it.
You
I'll
just
go
don't get
ahead.
it.
Yeah,
just don't get it.
you actually cut the rope on his other hand as you're trying to wrap it around.
Son of God damn it!
Those knives are sharp.
My
Cut it out
natural savior instincts kicked in. And I
Okay,
accidentally.
let's avoid his backhand. Avoid his right hand.
I'll go through it, and Daenir will tie him up.
All right, well, now you got 2 smaller ropes, so maybe if we, like, tie up the legs, at least then he's tied to the chair, but I don't think you're really gonna get him out of here, you know what I mean?
We just gotta tie down that. Let's tie down that right hand. I'm just worried about the right hand.
Maybe if you tie down the right hand, then tie down one of the legs to the chair, it'd just be real awkward for him.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we'll do.
I've done this before.
6.
Please do it then. We don't know what we're doing.
All right, fair enough. I'll get the leg.
Oh, it's another line that one.
Natural 20 of all things.
Yeah.
That leg is not only did he made the best out of that rope. He tied the leg to the leg of the chair and also managed to secure it to what looks like a big heavy table leg. That's the chair is kind of resting next to.
This
There we
barkeep
go. I don't
concerns
think he's
me a
gonna be
bit.
moving anywhere. Unless he cuts it, of course.
Thank you for your help, Valentine.
Yeah. Well, I ain't got much else to do with my time.
Asmo gives him 5 gold.
Creepy.
Kind of waves it off.
No, I'd like you to not talk about this.
That's never not happening.
Had to try at least.
He's kind of like tips his hat to you and walks out.
Friends of yours.
Oh, please. You're my only friend.
Asmo says, half patronizingly.
Hackless is kind of looking over your shoulder. Am I your friend?
Oh, Hackless, you are definitely in my zone of friendship.
Yay.
All right, guys. So, this is the guy that me and Daenir had a dream about, and here he is. Meaning he was
Ooh, that's so cool.
Hackless.
Should I?
Zip it. Zip it. Just zip it.
Okay.
Just you can listen, don't speak.
Kind of makes like a little zipper motion over his mouth. Gives you a thumbs up. Nods.
He wants us to help his master because his master's lost it. And
As do a lot of people
he
who deal with the bleeding god.
yeah, well, Daenerys said, "You need a hand. You need a hand," and he cuts off his own goddamn hand. Guy's a little too literal for his own good.
I think it's because he's,
Insane. You can just say it. He's clearly insane.
well,
And he loves his master to the point where he chop off his own goddamn hand just to even us considering helping his master.
to the point where he's worried about his mind.
Oh, well, we came up here to get the goddamn gems, and if this is the guy who's making them, then quest complete. As long as
That's
we
what I
find
was
him.
thinking.
As long as we find him, we get the fuck out of the north.
This could be a unique opportunity as well. As far as we know, all of these people who possess the gems have been batshit evil and insane. Sure, he might be unhinged, but he doesn't seem like he means harm. Aside from the
The
knives.
dude cut off his own goddamn hand, and let's just assume those knives were put to malicious use before he got here.
He also seemed to imply that he has killed in the past.
The drow said as he's stepping out of the corner of a shadow.
Forgive me. I couldn't help it over here.
Another friend of yours?
No. Never seen this man. But I haven't been on the surface long.
Just talking to Asmo, drow.
Oh, forgive me.
We're not friends.
Oh.
We're friendly.
Looks back up a little.
Well, regardless, for this creature to actively seek out the people that have been thwarting their plans across the north is a little odd. This might be useful information. We might be able to find out if we can save people from the influence of these crystals. Excuse me.
It could also be a giant trap.
That's true.
How would we even find him? He kind of knocked himself out before he could even tell us anything.
You seem to imply that you've been hunting these people for a while. How have you found the others?
We bumped into them accidentally. I'm not even
Doesn't sound
kidding.
like the act of a hunter.
No.
It all seems to be coincidence.
Interesting.
Or destiny.
Have you ever seen?
Asmo holds up the one hand, like, I guess, where do we have the hand tied down on this guy?
You kind of have it haphazardly tied to like a loop in the bar stool, but or a loop in the bar chair, but it's definitely not going to hold under much pressure.
Asmo turns the hand around a little bit, shows the gem.
Have you ever seen anything like this under the ground?
I cannot speak of my own experiences in the matter, but there are many magic gems up here in the north.
That much is true, but the best way of describing these, imagine it's like any other magic gem, except when you touch it, it's all you can touch. And we've seen the effects. It warps the mind, and you're not even yourself anymore. You're not even who you were before touching it. You slowly become something else. We've seen
Hackless
it.
is actually getting closer and closer to the hand as you're saying this and just kind of like looking at it.
Asmo smacks his hand without even looking.
No.
Just kind of backs up a little.
Daenir's still trying to get the gem out of the hand, if he hasn't already done so.
You've pretty much gotten it out.
Okay.
It's you got a huge chunk of his hand with it though. Whatever is etched, like whatever is keeping it attached to his hand is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That and your skills with the blade are not great.
Yeah, I'm not the stabby type.
Yeah, you got a gem that's about the size of a normal marble, but obviously like a little misshapen.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like shaped like a peanut.
Okay.
And it's got a bunch of flesh attached to it.
All right, I'll pocket it.
All right, you pop it in with the rest of them, and they are all glowing.
Well, if you appear... It appears that your gems seem to react to one another. Perhaps you use those to find his master.
That's the plan. That's the plan. What do we do with him?
We wait until he wakes up, and then we take him with us. If there's any kind of security, any kind of pass gates, any kind of spells that they ward off intruders, he'd know them. Chances are he could let us through them.
Okay, he can sleep with you then. How about that?
Okay.
Don't agree to that, God.
What? You don't think I'm going to study him tonight?
I forgot who I was talking to.
That would be useful information, actually. Seeing what specific mutations these crystals cause would be helpful.
Well, this seems unrelated to my adventures. I shall leave this to you.
And the drow kind of slips back into the shadows and disappears.
As they're just kind of like sloth squatting in front of the creature.
What would you like to do with them? Hackless is just kind of jotting in his book right now.
Do we have any giant, any kind of like giant rugs to roll them up and throw them off a bridge?
I mean, you can probably find a rug in here if you put the proper survival check.
If
he came looking for us, that means he can't be that far. Right? Is that safe to say?
I can see that.
Probably.
You know what's close to here? The fucking Magical Academy.
Asmo looks dead at them.
That would put them in possession of some scrying orbs.
Yep. Looks like a teacher's doing some extracurricular activities. I never went to school.
I learned on the streets. No,
Not untrue.
not untrue.
Can I perception to see if the drow is truly gone or if he's actually still listening to us?
You can attempt.
17?
Not there.
Okay. I'm going to look around. Who else is in the room with us?
You got Hackless. He's looking like all around this dude and just kind of like writing down, not touching him, but getting as close as Asmo will allow him to, while just kind of like getting like good eyes on him. He actually appears to be wearing some bifocals right now,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just feverishly like looking up and then writing in his book.
All right. Daenir is going to step away from the group towards the back of the area, and he's going to pull out a piece of copper wire, And he's going to send a message
Okay.
to the interim mayor of Coldreach.
Okay. Does that spell require you to know his name?
It just says of one that you're familiar with.
Okay.
You send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature of which you are familiar.
All right. You can send a message to Mr. Darren Fjord.
That's what I thought his name was, but I didn't want to,
No worries. I was just checking with the spell to see if you actually had to, and then I'd test you.
Yep. So, in Coldreach, he gets a message in his mind. Birchwood is dead, killed by a drow. Experienced necromancer, unknown if done alone. Coldreach's closest town. Be ready to defend if he comes. And he can send a 25-word reply.
25 words.
And he knows that it's me.
Yeah, he heard it in your voice. What are the rest of you doing while I'm thinking up this response?
Asmo sorry, go on, Connor.
No, you go ahead.
No, fuck it. You probably have a better plan than me.
Okay.
Right now.
Wolfgang is... He's sort of looking over this creature and noting... is he still bleeding from the stump? Or has that health potion...
The potion seems to have stopped the bleeding. I mean, you haven't looked at his stump. If you wanted to examine this gentleman all over, you'd need a medical check.
Okay, I will roll that. 10.
Yeah, the stump is definitely bloody, but it seems to be, the blood seems to have scabbed off and is no longer just flowing out. He definitely seems to have lost enough blood, and he is definitely napping or snoozing. But you can see him kind of like twitching every now and again, like he's dreaming.
Oh, he's dreaming. Hein.
He's like massively deformed, right?
His face is, I mean, he's not an attractive person. He is, I wouldn't call his face deformed. You haven't examined the rest of his body, though. His face just looks like it hasn't been washed or cared for in a while, and you're assuming that's because he has knives for fucking fingers.
So he doesn't appear to be mutated other than the fingers.
The fingers, funny enough, as you look at them, they don't necessarily seem that mutated. This seems to be augmented, like, by a person, surgically. Very poorly, but surgically. It looks like they took the tang of a blade and just shoved it into their finger.
Oh, God.
Replacing the bone. And then seemed to, like, strap metal clips around it in order to hold it in place.
Is this a human?
Yes, he is. He's humanoid. He might be half-elf, you're not sure.
Probably no defining features left.
He's got... all of his teeth are crooked. I mean, you can't really see his eyes right now, but when you could see his eyes, they were kind of a dark brown. And he's got a massive unibrow.
What do we do? Do we try and find his master, or do we just sit here and wait for him to wake up?
I agree with Daenir. He probably already knows we're coming. If this is the same person we found in that tomb, then definitely.
Recalling the guy we were talking to on the through the orb, was he a younger or older sounding voice?
It's kind of hard to tell. Kind of sounded like he might have been a male in his 30s. This guy in front of you looks like he's in his young 20s.
Looks like we have to maybe head out.
He's starting to he's as you're discussing this, he starts to convulse, like, and it's while Hackless is kind of close by. He starts like jerk about, and Hackless, startled as he's trying to study this claw hand. Luckily gets a nat 20 on his dex save and like dashes back from him.
Yikes.
As his arm breaks free from the restraints that weren't very well bound and just starts like flailing about. I need each of you to make a dex save as well.
Oh boy.
Modified 20.
13.
Am I included since I was on the other side of the room?
Oh, if you're on the other side of the room, then no.
Yeah, I went to the other side to send my sending spell.
Wolfgang, as you and Asmo are discussing this, his arm just flails out to the side and catches you right in the midsection. You take 12 points of slashing damage as these 5 blades rake you right beneath the ribs. And his eyes are in the back of his head rolling as he's convulsing, and he flops down onto the floor, his leg still tied to the chair and the table. Please.
Wolfgang, are you okay?
He got me good.
Stay back.
Asmo, his eyes look at you with clarity for one moment. The clarity of a man who is not insane. Save him, Asmo. And his eyes roll 180 degrees into the back of his head, and you hear this sickening snap as they do, and he falls falls face first to the ground.
Everyone okay, aside from Wolfgang?
A pool of blood starts to trickle out from around his face.
Asmo puts his blades away.
Wolfgang just sort of leans up against the wall. He's going to cast his... he's going to cast Healing Hands on himself.
Yeah, your coat's a little torn up for obvious reasons, and there's a massive blood stain starting to form around your midsection. Go ahead and roll your Healing Hands. By the way, I checked the wording on that, and I think we've been playing it wrong.
How's
Healing
that?
Hands is a pooled spell, or a pooled ability. Let me take a look at it.
So no
Or is
running
it-
around it.
Or oh wait, is it Healing Light or Healing? Healing Hands is fine. Never mind. Healing Light
Healing
is the
Hand-
one we've been
Yeah,
doing.
Healing Hands and
differently.
Healing Light.
Yeah, basically, Healing Light, you've been rolling it as it's however many d6s or whatever plus your... It's actually, you have up to your Warlock level in d6s that you can use.
The number of dice in this pool equals 1 plus your Warlock level.
Yes.
So I have 6 d6s to work with.
Yes, and we've been... I think we've been rolling it differently than that before, but yes. I just went through and checked after last session. I think we played it weird last time or something. But either way, yeah, go ahead and heal yourself with Healing Hands, and you can stop the bleeding.
Yeah, it just presses his hand to his side and light comes out of his palm.
There's a sizzle as your flesh begins to try to mend itself together. There's still some internal damage that you haven't dealt with, but at least you're not bleeding now.
Asmo just kind of goes up to his eyelids and just closes them.
He's face down. If you roll him up, yeah, like the
I roll him
stems
over.
of his eyes that would go back to the brain are actually facing out forward.
Jeez. Asmo closes the eyelids.
Why me? Why the fuck are you asking me to do this? Daenir.
Daenir walks over slowly.
And
Yeah.
you get a response, Daenir.
Mhm.
Hold on. Received word. Precautions taken. Military en route. Guard patrols doubled. Thank you. Stay safe.
Just got in touch with Cold Reach. They've doubled their patrols. Military's on the way. They're ready for it if it comes their way.
Wolfgang, can you do me something? Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
You and Hack, let's go out and tell the bartender, tavern owner, whatever. Tell him he died of blood loss. Couldn't save him in time. Tell him we'll take care of it. Daenir, you want to get the second gem out of this body?
Yeah, and then we can clean up duty.
Asmo just stabs the knife into the hand. And just pops it. What do I have to roll for that?
Sleight of hand.
18.
Yeah, you get a clean cut on this thing. Tunk! Just pops the blade. Pop the blade in there, and then you just slap it down, and the gem comes right out.
Mage hand, put it with the others.
You catch it in the air with the mage hand, and you flick it into the bag. Meanwhile, Hackless. And then slows his clapping, realizing this is not a good situation for that. He just kind of sets his hands down and nods and walks out of the room.
Guess we gotta find out where him is.
Well, we've got a lead, at the very least.
Evidently.
So the jester found us. I began prestidigitation to begin to clean the blood.
Yeah, Wolfgang will do the same for his clothes, and he walks into the bar.
Yeah, they're still, your clothes are still kind of shredded, but at least they aren't stained. Bartender. Oh, any news?
Looks around, he like waves a finger for him to come closer.
Finishes wiping down the mug that he was wiping down and kind of like leans in.
Something wrong?
Unfortunately, he died of blood loss. There's nothing we can do to save him.
Well, if I were to be frank, it didn't look like there was much left for saving.
We'll clean up the blood and we'll dispose of the body.
You don't have to do that. But thank you for the offer. Hey.
One of the patrons is over at the window.
Hey, look, the snow's clearing.
And everybody seems to like quiet down as they look over. Hackless is kind of Fezziwig is kind of finishing a glass of wine. Brushes himself off a little.
Thank God.
And you look outside as the snow is starting to dissipate a bit. It's still coming down, but it's not thick and horrendous like it was when you got here.
Wolfgang's eyes narrow in suspicion.
As you walk up to the window, this place is facing northward. You can see in the distance the towering spires of the skyline of Iceforge, with one tower towering above them all. And you think you see a glowing light coming from one of its upper windows. It's maybe a few hours' journey down the road from where you are. Beauregard's still standing out by the Beauregard Express, just kind of waiting, looking around.
Wolfgang walks back out and walks to Asmo and Daenir.
I got one more thing I need to do before we can head out, if we're heading out.
You don't know that the snow's cleared.
Fair enough. Then let me just wreck on that. I got one more thing I got to do, but make sure that we're the only ones in here.
Hey, Daenir, the snow's clearing.
There you go.
Cool. Then I got something I need to do.
Something tells me that wasn't coincidence.
No. Maybe luck is on our side for a change.
With us? Nah. No such thing as luck.
You never know. Somebody's looking over us. And Daenir will part from the two, and he goes back into the very, very back of the storage room.
Asmo's still like kind of squatting over the body.
What have you been doing, Asmo?
Just staring contemplatively, just trying to rack his brain why he said his name. Not Wolfgang's or Daenir's. Why on earth this creature who came to him in a nightmare today and asked him for a favor at the end of the day. And that just confuses Asmo and just doesn't know how to take it.
If you're actually trying to make sense of it, go ahead and roll a Knowledge Arcane.
Oh no. That's a 1.
A modified one.
Modified 1.
Yeah. Your brain it's going too many places, and you've never studied magic. You don't know what it could possibly be, if it's magic at all even. Maybe it's something different. Maybe there's some weird connection that you can't even think of, but the only thing your mind can go to is magic. But maybe it's not.
Oh, fucking magic. What should I do for the money I need?
Wolfgang, it's just you and Daenir, or you and Asmo there right now over this man's corpse.
Wolfgang sort of still clutching his side.
You know, I'm glad we didn't have to fight him. The second I realized who he was, I thought I was going to flip over the table and just jump at him with my blades. We talked to him, and then he cut off his own goddamn arm begging for help. I just don't get it. Nothing about this damn job makes sense.
As we're just kind of sitting there, just shaking his head.
The fuck is going on? I just...
I know what you're probably thinking.
Do you?
Asmo says, kind of like just over his shoulder a little bit at him.
That's what I was thinking when I got these powers. I thought, why me? Why is it me that has to be like this? Why couldn't I have just lived a normal life?
What was the answer?
Well, my answer, the one I made for myself, is that it has to be done. I tried to forge my own fate. That got me a dead wife.
Got me a bunch of dead friends.
Rather than fighting against it, I went along with it. And now, somehow, I know what I have to do.
I am envious of your clarity. All I have is the one thing that's made sense to me for the longest time. Get enough money. Pay the right people to find out where he is. And kill one person. That's all I want. It's all I did this job for. It's all I was sitting outside of your town robbing people for, was to make enough money for that. And I'm close. I really am. Now a monster's begging me for help.
Oh. That's the funny thing about life, isn't it? Sometimes it gives you more than you bargained for.
Sometimes it gives you nothing. Forever. And takes away even what little you have. And then dumps. Way too much all at once.
Wolfgang sort of sits down next to him. No, for the record, I'm sorry about your friends. Could have been easy, the only people you know.
There's 4 of them. We rolled as a gang. No. Rob people. Beat up other gangs. You know, the usual stuff. Yeah. We occasionally would break into houses, too. And then we used to have 6, but it was down to us 5, and we took a job with a bunch of other gangs, and everyone died. And I got away.
Oh.
Feel like all I ever do is just mope.
Oh, Asmo. You're right. It is all you do. You know what you ought to do?
Oh, it's that. Have a kid.
I mean, if you want.
Baby steps.
What you ought to do is find purpose. And oddly enough, I found that purpose through my kid. Maybe this is a sign that you're meant for something more, Asmo.
God, I hope not. Because I have no idea what I would do. All I've wanted to do for the longest time, even before my friends died, is just... What could more be? I don't know. This mission is a lot more than I expected. I don't even know how you deal with it. Now I know why you retired. One trip up north and I'm exhausted and ready for retirement myself.
Well, if after all this you're done, I'd understand. The reason I got back into it is because I don't want Elliot to be like me. I'm trying to make the world a better place where he can grow up and do what he wants to do with his life. Not get roped up in this. It's like the Conley family has a curse. We're all cursed to die young and in battle.
And let's find his master. Let's save him and end this.
Agreed. But even after that, the work's not done.
Maybe for me. Maybe for me.
Daenir, what have you been doing this during this exchange?
Daenir sent a second message. He made sure that he was a bit ways, made sure that he was alone, and he sent one message to Lady Tia herself. Boys from Cold Reach used a tunnel beneath Maw to bypass the wall. Entrance half day south of wall. In cave. Secret passage guarded by goblins.
You receive a short response. I see.
Daenir nods, and he rejoined Wolfgang and Asmo.
We're sorry. Your call has been disconnected. Please hang up and try again later.
New phone, who dis?
New brain, who dis?
New dragon, who dis? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I didn't accidentally get connected to Rage, did I? Shit.
Hopefully, didn't say anything send anything flirtatious.
No, not yet.
Please send Bubs.
Bob's
Please send
and
Bob's.
Gene.
She responds like my dad texts back. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
This is Daenir. Please show Bob's and Vagine.
All right.
See a fireball.
So you rejoin this very serious conversation. Daenir
She
comes
knows.
walking up.
Who does?
Who?
The reason why we're here, she knows.
Who's she?
Tia.
Oh, I know. Asma doesn't know who you just come and say she knows.
Yeah, also didn't imply what she knows.
Oh, knows what?
The first part of why we came here. He leans forward even closer. I told her what we found out about the kid. Not very talkative. Basically told me she understands. She sees. Then I look over at Wolfgang. As soon as I get my ability to cast again, Jamat's next on the list.
I appreciate that.
Daenir nods slowly. Figured you'd want to know about Magnus and Miguel.
Well, that strange obsidian crow should have reached him by now, hopefully.
It has a pretty fast flight speed, but you're pretty far north.
I'm referring to telling Jamat about Magnus and Miguel.
Yes, and didn't you send off the bird to him?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I thought he sent it off to Magnus, or to Miguel.
I did send it off to Miguel, but
Yeah. No. It's up to you to decide whether you want to hear it from, whether you should tell Jamat via telekinetic trance or telepathic communication, or if this is a face-to-face conversation.
Wolfgang really wants to check in, see how things are.
Yeah.
So he'll probably use the message.
So, what's the plan?
Let's head on up to Cold Reach.
Ice Forge.
Blah! Sorry. Let's head on up to Ice Forge.
They're all cold names.
It's all cold land.
Going over to Freezy Stone. All right. Let's get this done.
As you head back out into the bar, your bags are still sitting there. They're never brought up to your rooms.
Oh, good. Can I inspect to see if it's all my shit's there?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll an investigation.
5.
I'll do the same.
As far as you can tell, all your stuff is still there. You still have a couple of changes of clothes in there. Yeah, nothing seems to be out of place.
5 with a nat 1.
Ooh. I'm going to have to take a look at your inventory.
13.
Congratulations, Connor. You
did
didn't
it.
suck.
Yeah, your stuff is fine.
Yeah, we can handle it after Lenny. I'll tell you what he's got on him and what he's got in his bag.
Oh no, I can figure what you have in your bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, everything seems to check out for you, Daenir.
Okay.
And as you get back out to the front, you see Hackless is still just kind of sitting at a table. And meanwhile, Fezziwig is hoisting a pretty large bag on his back. Looks like it's a travel pack of his. Buttoning up a coat. You heading out as well?
Seems so.
Well, perhaps I shall see you in the capital then.
Perhaps. And for what it's worth, whatever your problem is, I hope it solves itself.
It should, as long as I can get there in the next few days.
Best of luck and maybe see you around, Vec.
You as well. Oh, no, this is Fezziwig.
Fezziwig.
Oh. Best of luck. Sounds like the Archmage is temperamental.
He tends to be. Well, best of luck to you as well, Mr. Black, Mr. White, Daenir.
You're
Kind
not.
of bows his head as he throws his hood up. Opens the door. There's a small gust, not nearly as bad as it was before, but he steps out.
How cold is it outside? Chilly?
Still looks pretty chilly. I mean, it's still dark out. There's still no light. You're not entirely sure what time it is, but man, it's just dark. Dark all the time, and it's not fun.
Beauregard!
Asmo yells off to Beauregard.
Head pops in through the window. Yes, sir.
Can you take us up?
Oh, of course.
Alrighty.
Right this way. And he floats back out over to the carriage. The door pops open for you. As you step out there, you see Mr. Harper Valentine, who's got his duster on. He flips the back collar of it around his ears. Hidden trail.
Yeah, I think we are.
Asmo offers him a handshake.
He goes in, kind of grabs your wrist.
My snake bones.
I figured you'd be the type to hide a dagger in there.
No. It's on this side.
And Asmo just flicks one out of his wrist on the other side.
Good one. He flips a card out of his hand and kind of like meets your dagger with it. Ting!
Ooh. Well, he's hoping I never get caught cheating with you.
Well, I always got an ace up my sleeve.
Flips another one out of his other pocket, out of his other sleeve. Or two. Flips them back in.
Ah, you dick. Oh, well. Best of luck finding something for you, War Chief.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be further north, though. Plus, my bones don't like that cold. Think I'll take my chances back south.
Yeah, my bones, my skin, and my everything hates it up here, so... Jealous!
Asmo says, getting into the cart.
You take care. What was it that freak called you?
Mr.
Asmo?
Nah, Mr. Black.
Whatever floats your boat, Mr. Black.
Tips his hat. Looks at the rest of you.
Gentlemen.
Daenir nods.
Nods as well.
And he starts walking the opposite direction.
Daenir's going to head to the cart.
And you guys step in. It's nice and warm on the inside. Next stop, Ice Forge.
Next stop, Ice Forge.
Very well. Onward we go. And as you ride forward, you can see the skyline of Ice Forge looming ahead, growing ever slowly as you pass into the night, glowing nearly ominously behind it. A green and red aurora borealis as you drift back into a restless slumber.